here right now. Luckily, we start with each and every one of you, one-on-one, on several occasions. And one by one, they will take the podium. Senator Olufemi Lanley of ADC, let's appreciate as he walked straight to the podium. Barrister Sarfati Ali, Zenith Labour Party. Chief Adebayo Adelabu Penkelemesi, APC. Engineer Akim Alao, AD. Engineer Immaculatetv, PDP. And the one and the only Basa of NIB. It's Fresh FM. On Saturday, yesterday, live on radio, I made a prediction and it came to pass. I give God all the glory. The prediction is simple. The first ever time that I saw it in my dream, that these two gentlemen will stand beside one another for the first time only in Ayefele Music House. And that is playing out as we speak. When Kalemesi and Cheyi live in the building. Let's appreciate two of them. I also spoke yesterday about the fact that they have different style. And we will see it play out. Barrister Sarafadeen Ali, let's appreciate him greatly for coming. Highly distinguished Senator Olufemi Lanley, ADC. Let's appreciate him. Thank you so much. Engineer Akim Alao, thank you so much. And our sister, Basa. I'm making a prediction today. Something tells me the next governor of Oyo State is in this house right here. That is that day. Mark my word. The Spirit is talking. Let me tell you the rule of the game. Please hold on a second. Hold on, sir. Hold on, man. Listen, this is Fresh FM. It's the live broadcast going on here. There are security agents here. If you make so much noise to disturb the peace of this place, they will tap you out immediately. Please, let's conduct ourselves. You can appreciate, but do not be unruly. That's why we have made it a special event. Ayefele could take this to the stadium. He will fill this place up with people. Yeah. But we want decorum. Ladies and gentlemen, the business is here. The panel begins their job. To start, Bolade Salami. Let's appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. My name is Abolade Salami. I'd like to start by refreshing your memory as regards the perception of the Western world, the international community. The international community, they refer to Nigeria, the giant of Africa, the land that is flowing with milk and honey, as the headquarters of poverty in the world. How do you feel about this statement? Do you believe this assertion? And how do you intend to lift Oyo State out of poverty? That's number one. Then we request this afternoon from Your Excellencies to give us your policy statements as regards health and education in Oyo State. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Gentlemen, every response, this parts of the conversation. At around 3 minutes, we'll begin with Senator Olufemi Lanley of ADC.
Thank you very much. Fresh FM. First of all, let me bring to the attention of the organizers that this is not the logo of ADC. You know, the logo will be on the ballot paper, so it's very important that you know what the logo is. Thank you. It's slightly different from what is here. It's very correct that the poverty headquarters of the world, according to statistics, is Nigeria, and very solid so too. We find ourselves in that very unenvious position because of bad leadership, bad management, and the fact that we cannot put our acts together. I want to tell you that in Oyo State, which is part of Nigeria, the poverty is live here. Go to the streets, ask people on the streets, ask the civil servants, ask the businessmen in the markets, ask our artisans. They will tell you, go so won't borrow. Why? We have enough resources in Oyo State, either by virtue of monthly allocation or by the IGR. We should not be where we are today. I intend to change all that by transparency, by prudence, and by being faithful to the people of Oyo State. On health, we are going to concentrate essentially on primary health care. We're going to take health to where our people live. A lot of our people, 80% of our people live in the rural areas, 70, 75, 80. And to that extent, we intend to revive, resuscitate, and get back on stream the primary health centers, which we will make sure are well run with drugs, with personnel, doctors and nurses, so that people will have the ailments that afflict them nipped in the bud. When this is done, we'll make sure that you can be rest assured that our people will be healthy to work and to play and to give their best to the state. The rest of the health institutions will be the general hospitals, and the only tertiary institution we have in Oyo State, of course, Lautech. We will make sure that they are well funded, the drugs are there, the doctors are there, trained and retrained. On education.
Distinguished, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will still get there. Thank you so much. Barrister Sarafatin Ali, 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. I want to start with health. Our own policy in ZLP is to have at least one primary health center in every ward throughout 351 wards in the West. And we will have at least one general hospital in every local government where there is need for it. For example, within the city, we had Adi Hospital was constructed in 1929-30. The Ring Road was in 1970. You look at the city, Ibadan, from Oluyole to Akele, there is no general hospital. Within our first 2 years, we are going to have at least one general hospital within the city in Ibadan. These hospitals, all the hospitals will be well funded, adequately staffed, and will also make sure that the welfare of the workers receive our priority. On education. Education at primary and secondary school level will be free and compulsory. Our children will learn in friendly atmosphere. We are going to ensure that we have enough desks and benches for them to work with. infrastructures, welfare of the teachers, and we are also going to de-articulate the secondary schools in line with the national education policy, so that we can have the junior and senior secondary schools separately. By this, we don't have more than 450 pupils in every school. This will give us an advantage of 30 people per class. The teachers will be able to take care of all the children, and if there is any children that is deficient, the teacher will know and take adequate care of such a thing. Secondly, to also afford our people, workers, whose aim is to get to the peak of their career, to also grow within the service. On economy, it is saddening that you look at our streets. Poverty is written on the faces of a lot of people. What we need to do, first and foremost, they need jobs. Many of them, not that they don't want to work, the jobs are not there for them. And I've said at one forum today that the area where we have comparative advantage in Oyo State is agriculture. And if you are going to have development in Oyo State, it's going to come from Okyogun now, if you don't want to rely on the federal allocation again. And what we intend to do is to have assist farmers, resuscitate our farm settlements, and make all of them residential. There are only 2 that are residential out of the 10 that we have today. The remaining 8, we are also going to make residential after resuscitating them.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Chief Adebayo Adelabu, APC.
Thank you very much. On health, that's what I'm going to take first. Our policies will focus on 3 major levels of healthcare system. The first has to do with preventive healthcare system. The second is primary healthcare system, while the third is secondary and tertiary healthcare system. On the preventive, like they said, that prevention is better than cure. We're going to encourage or introduce the sanitary and environmental inspection system, like we used to have, to prevent spread of diseases. We're going to continue with the school feeding program. When you feed our children well, the vulnerability to disease is very, very rare. And thirdly, we are going to encourage recreation and sports system in all our local governments. When you cultivate the habit of sports, health care system is also enhanced, and diseases are very, very far from you. On the primary health care system, which is what we all used to when we were growing up, in each local government, we're going to ensure that we have at least 2 dispensaries and 2 maternity centers to cater for our people. And we're going to ensure that it is not all ailments or diseases that you take to UCH or Adeoyo or Jericho Nursing Home or anywhere. It must be attended to in your locality. At least 1 kilometer away from your home, there must be a health center. Then on the secondary and tertiary health system, we are very blessed with this because health care system started from Ibadan in Oyo State here with UCH. We have UCH, we have Adeoyo General Hospital at Yemetu, we have one at Ring Road, we have Oluyoro Catholic Hospital, we have St. Mary Hospital at Eleta, we have Jericho Nursing Home, we have General Hospital at Oyo, we have a teaching hospital at Ogbomoso. What is wrong with our tertiary institutions? Number 1 is the infrastructure. Is it conducive to good health care delivery? Second is the healthcare equipment. Why are they not being purchased? Why are they not being maintained? Then the healthcare personnel. Do we have enough doctors? Do we have enough nurses? Radiographers? Are they properly trained? That is on health. Then on education. We are going to ensure that primary and secondary school will provide free qualitative education like you've never had before. And we're going to ensure that the infrastructures are conducive to learning, the teaching equipment are made available, and the teaching personnel are well compensated, at least 5 to 10% above the normal civil servants. This is something I've done before as chairman of Lagelu Grammar School Government Council. Go and check it out. I'm not just talking. I'm telling you my antecedent. That's what we are going to do. And Thirdly, we're going to ensure that our tertiary institutions will continue to fund them by generating enough money.
Thank
And
you
at
so
the end of the
much,
day,
Chief
make them
Adebayo
self-funded.
Adelabu.
Then
Thank
we will
you so
introduce technical education.
Thank you so much, sir. Engineer Akim Alao, AD.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to correct one thing. The assertion that Nigeria is the least poor country in the world, I totally disagree with it. And I think all of us here should not join other people around the world to discredit our country. It is true that there is poverty everywhere. I've been to India before. It is not as bad as it is in Nigeria. If you go to India, you see the slums there. People are not eating the slum that they are eating the slum. It's true we have poverty, but not as that. On economy in Oyo State, what are the issues? What are the issues on economy? We have inadequate IGR, we have unemployment, we have irregular payment of workers and salary, we have insecurity, and we have collapse of our industrial sectors. So what are we going to do? If we come in as governor of Oyo State, coming May 29, we are going to improve the IGR. Then we are going to work with local and international banks to provide guarantee loans to civil servants, pensioners, teachers, and company workers to purchase cars and build houses. I once been told that in the ministry, you are allowed to borrow 250,000 naira. What can 2,000 naira buy in today's world? We are also going to provide subsidized modern tools and equipment to traders and artisans. This I've told them in the in Okiogun side. On educations, first of all, what are the issues on educations? One, we have poor performance of students in national examinations, inadequate educational infrastructures, reduction in enrollment in public secondary school. Primary school, because of the free feeding fee, it has actually increased. But in terms of enrollment in secondary school, it has really dropped significantly. Persistent industrial strike and lack of adequate training for teachers. What are we going to do? We are going to provide free and qualitative primary, secondary to our people. I mean, everybody knows that is compulsory AD program. The second one is we are going to refurbish and reconstruct with sporting facilities all our primary and secondary school. We have about 2,000 plus primary school. It's going to take a lot of money, but we have looked at all the means of how we are going to do that, and we believe we can actually do that. We are also going to convert our PTA teachers to government teachers to reduce teacher-student ratio. In Oyo State today, the number of students in each class is in the neighborhood of between 60 to 70 to one teacher. We are going to have capacity building, training, and development of our teachers. We are also going to provide
many thanks, Engineer Akim Alao. Engineer Seyi Makinde, PDP.
I'd like to congratulate Fresh FM for a well-organized event. More Vaseline to your shoulder. How do we lift Oyo State out of poverty? The greatest challenge that we're faced with right now is poverty. And we have to tackle it headlong. First, I belong to PDP. As a party at the national level, restructuring of Nigeria and going towards fiscal federalism is what our party has promised the country. I will support it fully because the golden era for the western region, of which Ibadan used to be the capital, was when we were practicing true federalism. Those were the days when we had Cocoa House, where we had the first TV station in Africa, where UCH was an institution that was functional and productive. And that's exactly what I will support at the federal level and what I'll push for in Oyo State. Yes, we have to use our comparative advantage, and that is our land-based resources. But you know what? Material resources alone cannot create wealth, because Nigeria got oil, but we're still regarded as the world capital of poverty. So, what do we need to do? Material resources will have to be backed by entrepreneurial skill. And that I have. I've set up businesses and they are successful. So I have the skill. And that is what we will deploy in Oyo State with our material resources. And the result is that we will create wealth. If you go to Ikere Gorge Dam, I've been there. This is a dam that can irrigate up to 12,000 hectares of land, which means you can produce things, agricultural products all year round if this is done. It can also generate close to 30 megawatts of electricity. Those are ingredients that we have to utilize to lift ourselves out of poverty. We will go after those assets and utilize it for the benefit of Oyo State. Because Okyogun.
Many thanks, many thanks, many thanks. Bolanle Sarumi Aliyu. NIP.
Hello. Ẹ dákun ẹja bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ìsìn. Orúkọ mi ni Bọ́láńlé Àṣàbí Sàrùmí Àlíyù. Ọmọ ta ni wọ́n ní ta ni bàbá rẹ̀, ọmọ Alíbè. Ẹni bá mọ Alíbè yóò mọ̀ kó ṣe dáadáa. Abẹ́bí ńlé wá wà ẹ dákun ẹ má jẹ́ ọgọ́kì ẹ má jẹ́ fúlù yín. Elédùmarè ò ní sọ̀kalẹ̀ látọ̀run láti ràn wá lọ́wọ́, ọwọ́ wa ló kù sí. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn eléyìí ò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, obìnrin ò díje rí fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, kò wí ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì rí, kò tún wá di party leader èmi ní jágá báàmù mẹ̀kúnnù ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tẹ́ ẹ bá gbà ní o. Ìsọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ní ìsìn. On the issue of the health, number one, I'm not impressed with what is going on in Nigeria, not just Oyo State. Cherry, ẹ̀yin lẹ ń yan àwọn èèyàn sórí ipò, wọn ò gbéra wọn débẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lẹ dìbò agolo ráìsì, ẹ̀yin lẹ dìbò àǹkárá tó ń bó. Aláṣàbí ò ní fún yín láǹkárá, kò ní fún yóò bá láǹsọ̀ ń bì, yóò bá mi dán ju èbó mi lọ ẹni bínú ni. Ẹ̀yin aráàlú ẹja sí ẹ la ojú yín sílẹ̀. On the issue of the health system, see, if you do not allocate the budget correctly, if you do not cut out large sums and pour it into the right sectors, or your state will not move forward. Currently, they're spending about 4.2 billion on your health. They're spending about 5.2 billion on the education of your state. However, they are spending 42.1 billion on building roads. When a man attains power or wealth, the first thing he thinks about is how am I going to drive my Ferrari or my Porsche down the fastest lane. But a woman will think how the children will eat and how they will go to school. I will ensure that you do not pay for health care when you are pregnant. Prenatal, postnatal, I will give you for free. I will ensure that the elderly are taken care of. On the issue of education, need some 1 naira fún léèwé yín. But we call model schools, káàkiri 5 zones or your state, for the most brilliant children, láti gba scholarship. Then àwọn tó ní disabilities mo fẹ́ tọ́jú wọn, mo láwọn ọmọ aláìní púpọ̀ tó ní disabilities mo ti tọ́jú fógún ọdún. Nílé rẹpẹtẹ, ní mọ́tò rẹpẹtẹ, mo ní èèyàn rẹpẹtẹ tí mo sọ di èèyàn nílé ayé bó ṣe ń gbé ilé ayé nìyẹn. Èèyàn sórí ipò tó ní ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run tó mọ̀ pé tóun bá kú lọ́la kò sí ibi tó ń kówó lọ. Ọwọ́ yín ni iṣẹ́ wà o, gbogbo yín pátá. And those following politicians, let me tell you, there's no enemy in politics. We are all friends. So ẹ mọ jà nítorí olóṣèlú kankan ẹ má lọ para yín bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kú wọn continue wọn tún ẹ lómi wọn dẹ ẹrù wọn wá àwọn ọmọ mẹ̀kúnnù yapa. Thank you. English, okay.
Still Fresh FM Guba debate 2019. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Asiwaju, thank you so much. Can we have some quiet, please? Thank you. Bolade Salami. Next.
Your Excellencies, I'd like to also draw your attention to the pensioners' welfare in your state, as well as workers' welfare, the civil servants. Before you become a pensioner, you have to be an employee of the state government. Your state pensioners, they've gone to court in respect of the huge debts amounting to over 42 billion naira. And it is on record that your state government, the current administration, put up a committee, a 16-man committee, to look into the exact amount they are owing the pensioners. And this covers May 2011 to December 2017. 2018 is not there. The amount is 42.3 billion naira. Since government is continuum, anybody that wins this election is going to inherit the assets and liabilities of the current administration. How would you ensure that your state pensioners do not suffer under your administration? And then let us know what you have for the civil servants. Thank you.
Basa.
Hello? Number one, we will increase the tax net. Currently, we do not trust the government of the day. This is why you will not see the informal sector contributing to tax. Hairdressers, barbers, tailors, if they can trust the government, they will gladly pay. If I tell them if they contribute 1,000 naira, I will give them free health care, they will go and pay that money with a matter of urgency. But the current government of the day will have billions of dollars for their weddings for their children. Why would anybody want to pay? So we need to build trusts. They need to see that the person who's governing them is actually living up to the standard. Number two, I do not want pensioners to suffer. My mother is English from the United Kingdom. She gets about 50,000 naira every week from the government there as a pensioner. The money is too much. She doesn't even know what to do with it. They pay a rent for her because she has contributed to the system. Why are pensioners suffering here? I want to grow old. I will take care of you because it's just natural. It's in the being. We will ensure that we promote agriculture greatly. There are beautiful things in the land that God has given us. However, no one has tapped into this. We have honey in Shaki that can generate us a lot of money. Cassava, we can get ethanol out of it and make close to 50 billion yearly. I studied social work and welfare, social policy, psychology, and sociology. So I know what to do to arrange the state. We will also, with the issue of salaries, please, you will say teachers are not teaching your children well. A teacher has not been paid in 6 months. How can that teacher function? Probably the teacher's child is dying in hospital. She's looking for money to take care of her child. We will ensure they get paid. I will not politicize promotions, incentives. And I will encourage these teachers or civil servants at large. There are some civil servants currently, they're not living their destiny. They're in the wrong ministry because they were desperate for an employment. They studied health, they're in education. So they're not productive. I will reshuffle the ministry for them. I will discover talents. My youths out there, I cannot wait to empower you. I've been doing this since the age of 21 when I got married. I will ensure that I create so many CEOs. I started many businesses with little or nothing. So I know what to do if you allow me. I still have 30 seconds. Overall, God loves us. We have cashew in Orire. I will ensure that industrial parks begin to function. They will become, business clusters to ensure that your own waste product is my own beginning product. Yes, and we'll give you power plants and solar panels. Thank you.
Engineer Immaculatetv, PDP.
Thank you, Isaac. With the pensioners, when you're in a hole, to get out of the hole, you have to stop digging. They've been owed 42 point-something billion in 7 years. If we start paying that little by little, at least it may take us 18 months, it may take 2 years, but at least you get to a point where you can actually get out of that debt. So for us as a policy, a certain amount will have to be set aside every month, just as they are paying the salaries of the workers, then they will have to also pay certain things to the pensioners. Also, where am I coming from? I'm coming from a position of service to our society. The first time I did something for the society was in year 2000, when I built a block of classroom plus computer center for Bishop Phillips Academy. Since after then, I've gone ahead, I set up an automation laboratory at the University of Lagos. When the labor unions were having issues with government and they were incarcerated, I came and I supported them fully. When this house was demolished, I was here to give my support, to the owners. So I've supported businesses, and I've supported also in our society anything that will be for the good of the society, and that is what I intend to keep doing, and that is what the workers in Oyo State, what they should expect from me. Raising taxes and looking at all the gamut of governance right now and all the challenges that we're faced with is because Oyo State does not have to be chasing people in Abuja for federal allocation. So all the solutions that I've seen around is talking about the bottom line. But for me, the best way to increase what you take home is to increase the top line. So if we increase the top line, we create wealth in Oyo State, and all the other challenges that we have will start, being addressed, and they will start disappearing. And that is how we intend to govern Oyo State. I've provided transformers for communities in Ibadan, in Oyo State, and
many thanks.
I think you guys need to be open about how many minutes you really need.
3 minutes, we are tracking. Engineer Akeem Alao. Let me assure.
I think the question that was asked was purely on welfare and
workers and pensioners.
So if the candidate is not going to the answer, please will you stop the candidate, please?
No.
No
every candidate has, listen, Engineer Akeem Alao, if you ask you a question, you can answer it the way you want. The people will decide. It doesn't matter. You are not the judge. Let the people decide. Please go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Just like the question he asked, what are we going to the pension?
Hello? Please.
The question is, what are we going to the pensioners' welfare? There was a debate last week, and I said, even though it was for 2 billion naira that we owe, we can afford to pay that money within the space of time. And I looked at a space of 6 months. The reason why I said 6 months is, if somebody that retired, let's say about 10 years ago, you are saying that's about 70 years. So if you are going to be paying that money in trickles for the next 1 or 2 years, what of if the guy died before that time? What I'm going to say is this. Oyo State already had about $106 million and 88 billion naira. I'm telling you to all your face here, we are going to borrow the money to pay the pensioner. I don't want to pay a dead person. On the workers' welfare, I'm aware that the federal government has proposed the minimum salary to 30,000 naira. Even the 30,000 naira is not enough. But because of our economy, because of the fact that our economy is dominated on the oil and other economic indices that we're supposed to be using for the economy to function, they are not really coming up. If the federal government increase their allocations for the minimum pay, then your state will equally pay the same amount of money. But one thing I can say is, if we can generate more tax, more IGR, I believe the Oyo State civil servant can be paid more than the 30,000 naira. Thank you very much.
Chief Adebayo Adelabu, APC.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that the pensioners of today were the workers of yesterday. They have worked and contributed to the productivity of our state in the past, so they should not be treated shabbily. The three covenants I'm going to have with pensioners is not just because of the welfare of the pensioners alone, but to incentivize and motivate the current workers to know that when they retire, they will not be treated shabbily. Number one of the covenant is that from the day I'm sworn in as the governor of this state, from that month, inshallah, I will not owe a single month from that month. I will ensure that pensioners' salaries are paid together with the active workers' salary, because salary is salary. For the inherited debt, that's the accumulated pension. We're going to enter into a round table to discuss how this is going to be paid in installments. And I can tell you, between 2 to 3 years, we're going to exhaust the inherited debts. I can tell you, this is what I've done before. I don't know any other thing than making money, either for myself or for the state. And I know how to make money for these states. The third covenant is that our pensioners need to be prepared for retirement. 2-3 years to your retirement, you should be trained in a vocation, in a trade, or a particular business, so that when you retire, you can still be active in your private business. You are only retired, you are not tired. This is what is done in the corporate world. There's no amount of salary you pay pensioners, inflation will always erode it. And let me tell you that the problem we're having in pension today started with previous administration, with the embezzlement of the seed money of the pensioners, the 6 billion fraud that took place. And this government inherited that fraud. We cannot allow governance to go back to those fraudsters. Then for the pensioners, there must be additional social welfare for them. Number one, they must enjoy free healthcare delivery system, like it's done in the UK. When we have government transport, they must enjoy free transportation. And lastly, they must also enjoy subsidized housing. I believe with that, the current crop of staff that we have in the civil service will be motivated to give their best to the state, so that when they retire, they will not be treated shabbily. That is my plan for the pensioners. Thank you.
Barrister Sarafaddin Ali, Zenith Labour Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking of two things here about the pensioners, about their pensions and about their gratuities. They are two different things. And I'm promising people of our state that pensioners, especially those who are worst hit, are the retired primary school teachers. They will be paid their pensions on the same day that 7 teachers collect their salary. And and everybody whose papers are completed will be placed on pension immediately within 1 month after completing his papers. Unlike now that you stay for about 12 months before you get there. Secondly, on the arrears of the gratuities, I have been part of the government we met a lot of these things when we got to government in 2003. I was an active player of the Lado administration, which was noted for workers' welfare. We met a lot of debts in areas of arrears, leave bonuses, and gratuities. And we were able to space this and pay everything off. I want to assure our pensioners that we'll space it out and pay within a very short period of time. On our workers' welfare, salaries will be paid on the 25th day of every month. And I'm making a covenant here today that we are going to bring back the issue of the 13th month salary. Because as it's done in the private sector, after working for 12 months, there is nothing bad in having what we call a bonus. So that's something we are going to do. Apart from this, we are going to bring back professionalism into this civil service. A situation where workers are sacked because they are not liked or because their faces are not wanted will be a thing of the past. And I want to say here, all workers in Oyo State have been sacked. About 10,000 of them unjustly will be brought back to civil service. We place priority on funding. The welfare, when I talk about welfare, it's the good welfare of our workers in our tertiary institutions. In Oyo State, they've been on strike for several months. They've been off and on. This, we are going to make sure that we do.
Thank you so much. Senator Olufemi Lanlẹ́yìn of ADC.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that the welfare of pensioners and the payment of their arrears is a function of the economy. And like I said hitherto, we intend to apply ourselves to the revamping of the economy of Oyo State to the best of our ability and get it back on track. The issue of the pensioners' welfare will not be a staccato thing. It will be addressed holistically and efficiently. The amount of money to be paid to pensioners in order to liquidate their arrears will be appropriated for in the yearly budget. So it will not be a matter of just looking for money from somewhere to pay them. We will sit down, speak with them, negotiate with them, and find the most appropriate and realistic, acceptable method of liquidating the arrears. And I can assure you, it can be done, and it will be done. Now, you know that hitherto, Oyo State used to have the best civil service in Nigeria. And we intend to return that civil service to the days of yore. And you can only do that if you treat the people who have retired fairly and respectfully by paying their dues, by treating them well, and making sure that they don't die in penury. To that extent, the civil servants in service will put in their best. And to that extent, the economy of Oyo State will improve, and have more money to pay the pensioners, to pay the workers, and to take care of the welfare of the people of Oyo State. I want to assure the pensioners as well that I'm aware of the fact that there is this law that automatically applies to them when there are increases in salaries of workers. To a large extent, they've been neglected. That part of the law has not been obeyed. I intend to make sure that the pensioners get whatever increment workers who are in service get.
If you're just joining us, it's a 2019 edition of Fresh FM Maiden gubernatorial debate here, live from the iconic auditorium, Ayefele Music House. We are wrapping up the first half of this conversation by moving into the next segment. The next segment is candidate specific. We're starting with Dari Adekombi.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm going to ask Engineer Makinde and Senator Lanley one question each. As for Senator Lanley, I've listened to all the candidates, not just here, but at other forums. And you have said that agric is going to be the anchor. Agriculture is going to be the anchor for your industrialization and job creation policies. And some of us, and you have also said that you're going to use the farm settlement model. Sir, I would like to ask you, Senator Lanley, how many farm settlements do we have in Oyo State? Have you been to those farm settlements? What is the state of this farm settlement? Because somebody who is aspiring to lead us ought to have done research about such thing. That is my question for Senator Lanley. As for Engineer Immaculatetv, I would like to know your policy for IGR increase in Oyo State. The specifics, details about how you want to increase the internally generated revenue for Oyo State. Because you agree with me that the cap in hand syndrome in Abuja is not enough. You cannot take this state any notch higher. And so we would like to know the specifics of your IGR policy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dari. As we all know, we used to say, Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ni iṣẹ́ ilé wa. And I intend to return to that day of when agriculture had a pride of place. We have 9 farm settlements at the moment. The one in Ido is multi-campus. It has 2 sites. There are 2 that are more or less, well, they are not fantastically functional, but they are limping on. I want to assure you that in putting these farm settlements back online, it is going to solve 3 problems as they go. 1, it will solve the problem of food production. It will solve the problem of products for export. It will also thirdly solve the problem of employment. And fourthly, we will have these farm settlements feed our cottage industries. Our towns, our villages are full of young men and women who are roaming the place. There is no place to go into Oyo State now that you won't find boys who are thoroughly unemployed and distressed. So to that extent, we will put everything we have in resuscitating those farm settlements and creating jobs.
Okay. Thank you, Dari. I hope you're listening because you asked the question. For IGR, what I already mentioned is we are not going to depend on federal allocation. And IGR, increment in IGR means if you don't increase the top line, you want to tax people based on what is existing right now. We're not going to do that. First, you must create wealth. When you create wealth, then you can tax those wealth that's been created. Right now, the burden is actually so much that any new taxes on the existing structure will actually mean that you're taxing people to the bone, and we're not going to do that. What we've suggested, and which is what we're going to do as a policy towards wealth creation, is some of our products will have to be export oriented. We have to target the export market. I've mentioned Ikere, for instance, and because Okiogun is really where the resources of Oyo State is locked in, we will declare Okiogun as a special economic zone for Oyo State. The body of the water behind the dam at Ikere, you can use it for freshwater shrimp farming. Around the world, that market is worth $2 billion. Right now, it's zero for Nigeria as a share of that market. So even if we are targeting even 5%, incrementally, if we're targeting 5% of that market, I think we'll start creating wealth in Oyo State. And you have a situation where, you know, all our youths, that they've been to school, but they don't have jobs. Once they have jobs to do, there are two things that will do for us. One, the security challenges will start to go down because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So if these folks are doing something, definitely we have a security issue being solved. And then secondly, because they are becoming productive, they are also adding to lift the economy of Oyo State.
I'm taking on two batch of gubernatorial candidates. One, I want to start with Engineer Akim Oyedele Alao of the Alliance for Democracy. And of course, from there, move to ZLP candidate, Chief Safadin Abiodun Ali. To Engineer Akim Alao, today in Oyo State, a kilometer of road costs average of 1 billion naira, especially when you talk of new model roads that are being built across Ibadan and other zones of Oyo State. From your experience as a structural engineer, how much do you think a kilometer of road should cost per average? That's number one for you. For the ZLP candidate, Chief Safadin Abiodun Ali, unemployment is the major problem that's confronting us as a nation and as a state. Many of our youths are jobless and they're out there, graduates, no jobs. What do you want to do in the area of ICT to create jobs for teeming youths across the entire of your state? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just like you have asked, how much does a kilometer of road cost? First is in the Middle East, where we have mountains. An average kilometer costs between 58,000 riyals to 100,000 riyals, which is equivalent of 53 million naira to about 100 million naira. So if it costs such amount of money in the Middle East, where you have to cut through the mountains, then it should not be up to that amount of money in Nigeria. So it should be between 58 million and 100 million naira, excluding the covert. If you had the covert, depending on the size of the covert, then you could be talking about maybe 130 million naira per kilometer, but not in billions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Using IT to create jobs is just one of the areas which we intend to use to create jobs. Agri, industrialization, and some other. Many young kids or men used to sell recharge cards all around. Majority of them are out of job now because we now buy on our telephone. What we intend to do is to create IT hubs around the states for our youth to take advantage of the global economy, whereby they use the internet to be able to get money. We intend to do this by through several areas. No, you know these days, and very soon we are going to go into a cashless economy. When you leave your house these days, you may not need to carry cash with you. And by the time you go out, you use your what do you call these ATM cards and some of these things. There are a lot of opportunities within the internet. That's why we said we're going to create internet hubs around the state for our youth to take advantage of and enjoy and create wealth and enjoy more jobs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My first question will go to Mrs. Aliu Sarumi of National Interest Party. My question will have two parts. The voters in Oyo State would love to know your public service experience that you want to bring into governance. And I would like you to tell us if you have a fair idea of the number of us that live in Oyo State that you are aspiring to govern. Just a fair idea of the population of the people you want to govern and your public sector experience that you believe you are going to bring to bear to lift Oyo State up if you are voted. All right, sir. You did say, Chief Adelabu, my question is to Chief Adelabu now. You did say previously that all you know at the back of your hand is how to make money for yourself and for the government. You are in the APC. The APC is currently governing Oyo State. You are somehow part of this government. How much have you helped this current government make, one way or the other? The second part of it, is that we have listened to all of you, promises upon promises in agriculture, in health, in education, paying pensioners, gratuities, and all of that. We need money to do that. And we know that currently, the government dedicates 100% of federal allocation to payment of salaries and pensions. Both the 2017 and 2018 budget of Oyo State performed less than 40%. Thankfully, you said you know how to make money. How do you intend to raise the IGR to prosecute your ambition and ensuring that the common man is not grossly pained?
Hello. Thank you, sir. Currently, we have about 5.869 thousand, under 6 million. That's what we are told. I don't think this is accurate, because for every 351 wards I've been to, I have seen a lot of people. The government of today have never really invested in the welfare of the people. If they have, the first thing they should do is data collection. That is what they do in England, where my mom is from. I want to know how many are unemployed. If I do not know the amount of people that are living in my state, there is no way I can allocate the right funds and channel them to the right needs. I studied social work and welfare and also social policy. Born in UCH, went to primary school Ibire, went to St. Louis Grammar School, Mokola, Ibadan. The Oyo State of then is not the Oyo State of now. So I would ensure that my first 100 days in office is to quickly count the amount of people I have, both old, both young, both disabled, etc., so that I can know the right sort of welfare to create for them. Number two, my experience. I've been an employer of labor for over 19 years. I'm 39 years old. I opened my first boutique in Old Baggy Illusions when I was 21. So about, 18 years. Even my nannies that take care of my boys, I ensure they're empowered. When the children are in school, these are 25, 26-year-old ladies, I ensure they're trained. One of them learned makeup, to be a makeup artist. I spent 100,000 for her to be trained. So that when she leaves me, she has something to set up her own life with. One of them learned fashion designing in one of my factories. I make uniforms as well. We have over 100 tailors making the uniforms. So I know what to do to ensure that the state is functional. However, if you do not touch the welfare of the people, there is no way they will be productive. I repeat it. That is why I say welfare is needed. So that is what I want to do. I want to get into the system and take care of the people. I want people to begin to live fulfilled lives. So I have the experience and I have the passion. God is my witness. Thank you, sir.
Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. My own question is in two parts. Is this working?
It is.
Can you hear me? Okay. It's in two parts. Number one, how have I helped the APC government on your state when it comes to issue of funding or finance? I can tell you that I've helped them from two perspectives, both in cash and in kind. In cash, I've been instrumental to the release of...
Thank you so much. Please hold on. Please go ahead.
I've been instrumental to the release of the salary relief fund to all the states, of which Oyo State was inclusive, which they used to clear out the arrears of civil servants' salaries. Number two, I was also instrumental in the release of 2 billion naira microfinance fund for traders and small-scale industrialists in Oyo State. Number two, and in terms of assistance in kind, it is common knowledge that I was instrumental to the provision of the foundation buildings at the Technical University in Ibadan here. I was also instrumental in the transfer of Entrepreneurial Development Center of the Central Bank of Nigeria to Samonda from Lagos before I got to CBN. And lastly, we are aware of the School of Postgraduate Studies for Banking and Finance in UI that costed CBN 16 billion. I was instrumental to the establishment. I can continue to list and list. We will not live here. In terms of making money, I still maintain it that in my 26, 27 years of corporate and public service experience, I've never been owed 1 month's salary. The same thing, I currently employ over 600 people in my private businesses that cover real estate, hospitality, and farming. I've never owed a month's salary in 12 years. I pay them bonus. You can come here and make mouth, I will do this, I will do that. What is your antecedent? I've given empowerment, I've given employment. I've given fish, and I've taught people how to fish. I can tell you that. When it comes to making money for your state, I can tell you, the first thing is to increase the tax nets. Who are the people that are taxable? Where are the likes of Leland, Exile Battery, Isoglass, TSG, Ferrodo, Niger Match, Odola Tires, Lapia Canning Factories? Those companies were paying taxes here before. They are packed up. We are going to bring them back. And in terms of public-private sector participation, we must ensure we bring companies back and they pay tax. That's what I'm going to do.
Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, let's warmly appreciate the gentlemen and lady that are here with them. We will have a break. When we come back, it's crossfire time. Gentlemen, lady, you could go and sit down as crossfire begins right here, right now. Break for commercials. We'll be back. You could sit down, rest your legs. Still made an addition. Fresh FM Gubernatorial debate for 2019. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the candidates once again for the second and the final lap of this conversation. A wonderful round of applause for all of them, gentlemen. It's time to take the... Let's rise. The final lap of our conversation. It's still Fresh FM debate. They are jostling to become the next executive governor of your state. Fresh FM provides the platform today for you to hear them out. And we're moving to this segment. 45% of those listening to us are online. Another 55% live on radio. Your Excellencies, gentlemen, this final lap, we will have 2/3 of the time spent on straight questions with straight answers. And this debate will be rounded off with a summary of all what you have said, delivered in Yoruba language to our people. But the first 45 minutes of this conversation remains where it is. The time begins. For 2 years, Fresh FM provide platform for warfare of mouth and ideas. Crossfire begins right here, right now. The questions are direct and the answers should be straight. It's in your best interest. Answer straight and you save yourself the agony of not being shut off. The question begins to all of you, and I'm starting with Senator Olufemi Lanleng. Tell us, why are you the most qualified to succeed Governor Abiola Ajimobi?
Yes, I have the experience in all aspects of government, judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. I've served in all these areas before, and with all respect, I want to say with all humility that I've done my best and I've done well. I believe that it's not about talk. It's not about policy statements. It's not about papers. Anybody can write papers and deliver papers. I've been tested. I'm trusted. I can do it. I have the passion. Look, I don't need anything. All I want to do is leave a legacy. I've seen Oyo State. I've seen my community. I've been to the Senate. I've been to the House of Reps. I've been a commissioner. And wherever I am, I deliver. If you want Oyo State to move ahead, you must have somebody who has integrity. You must have somebody who has passion for the job. You must have somebody who has the experience. You don't have to land on the job. Once I get there, I will land on the job. I will land running. You can say that I am tested and I'm trusted.
Thank you so much, sir. Barrister Salahuddin Ali, why are you the most qualified to succeed?
Thank you very much.
Governor Abiola Ajimobi.
I've gone around Oyo State and I've been endorsed by not just our kings, but community leaders. I've not just been tested, but also trusted. I have the experience, and I want to say here and now, there is no one here who has the experience of governor's office more than I've been. I've worked with some administrations and I've been able to deliver. I've not been found wanting in all offices that I've held. I have integrity. I am an Omaluabi. Thank you very much.
Chief Adebayo Adelabu, why are you the most qualified candidate running as we speak today?
I can say without equivocation that I'm the best man for the job among all of us here, based on 5 clear reasons. Number 1 is the academic and professional background. I don't think there's any other first class here as we stand here. And I don't think, excuse me.
Thank you.
That's part of
Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you, please. Thank you, please. Thank you, please. You are wasting his time. Thank you, please.
Sorry, that's part of my time. Oh, I say please. As I said, there is no other first class graduate among us here. And I can tell you, there is no fellow of the Charters of Accountants and the Charters of Bankers here. FCA, FCIB. Number 1. Secondly, there is no one here that have my kind of work experience, both in the private, corporate, and public sector. I rose to the peak of my career as an executive director of the largest bank in Nigeria, in the private sector, First Bank, and the CFO, and as the second, as the deputy governor of Central Bank of Nigeria in the public sector. Number 3, I am the only major stakeholder in Oyo State here, as you are standing. There's nobody that can boast of the investment I have in this state. I provide job, I provide employment for over 600 people. I've been paid salary for the past 12 years. And I've got investment in real estate and in agric here and in hospitality business. Nobody can boast of that. Number 4 is that I'm the only one that have displayed the most love for this state and believe in this state in terms of philanthropy and investment. And lastly, I'm the only one with a legacy here. I must protect our legacy. I cannot afford to mess it up. Based on that 5 reasons, with God on my side, I believe I can deliver more than anybody here.
Why is Engineer Akeem Alao the right man for the job?
Thank you very much. I know you've all applauded Bayo for being the first class. I may not have a first class, but I've got a master's degree in structural engineering. Engineers are better than accountants.
Thank you.
There was, if you have read the book called Irekeredo Ninu Ogbo Elegbeje, it mentions something about universal experience. That is, if you experience in the village, you think within the village cycle. If you experience within the state, you think within the state cycle. And if you have walked around, your experience is walked around.
Thank you.
I have not only worked in Nigeria for 13 years, I walked around the world. I work with multinationals. I've managed money. I've managed people. I've managed people like Sheyi who are in businesses. I am trained in
Thank you.
I am trained in crisis management. I am trained in crisis management and I've been involved in 1 or 2 disasters where I was working. I also have company in Nigeria and I pay people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Up next, Sheyi Makinde. Why are you the best man for the job?
Well, thank you. First, I believe in the past 8 years, the ordinary folks, àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù, they've had a raw deal in Oyo State. And I stand for discontinuity. I don't want us to continue on the same path. So, I don't want to continue holding the pensioners I want to discontinue from that track. Secondly, I want to tackle poverty. And when you want to tackle poverty, Yorùbá sọ pé ẹni tó bá fẹ́ dáṣọ fún yàn, tọrùn ẹ̀ la máa ń wò. I have tackled poverty as an individual. I didn't come from a rich house. I do not have legacy of richness in my family, but I have tackled poverty in my life, and I will do it for the good people of Oyo State. I want to discontinue from lawlessness, where judgment will be gotten against the government and they will not implement it. We will depart from all of those. That is why I believe at this stage in Oyo State, I am the individual that is needed. I've done so many things for the people of Oyo State. I've given scholarships, I've helped the widows, I am very close to the poor and the downtrodden, and those are the people that we have to lift out of poverty. It is the greatest challenge that we have right now. And the society, how you treat the vulnerable ones in those society is a reflection of what the society looks like. People living with disabilities, there's a bill out there. I understand it's been passed by the assembly, but it was never signed. The first day as the governor of Oyo State, I will sign that bill and ensure that the people living with disability, they have their rights.
Is it on? Hello?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madam.
Obìnrin ló lè ṣe o. I'm God-fearing. I have no godfather. Owó onírú owó níyọ̀ la ní ta fi ń tì í. Mi ò ní ra ìbò yín ẹyọ kan because ẹni bá fowó rà ó ń lọ tẹ́ tó bá débẹ̀ ni. Ẹni bá fún yín ní owó, whoever gives you money to vote for them, that person will recoup that money. You will have to wait for 8 years. I cannot suffer in Nigeria again for 8 years. I don't know how to hype myself. That's my problem. In 2011, I got an appointment with the Minister of FCT to be the Special Assistant on Social Development. It answers your question, sir. Currently, I have 2 NGOs, Childhood Bridge International Initiative and Basa Foundation. Currently, I partnered with DSI Gates to train 100,000 people for me in Oyo State, irregardless of the party they are in, win or lose, because that is what I do. I give back to people. So they will train 100,000 people, irregardless, win or lose. I will cut down on wastages, like I said earlier on. My husband is not interested in politics. He's a business developer. So he has no interest. There will be no office of the husband of the Gomino. That will save you money. There's no daddy has interest. Thank you. I will increase. That will save you money. I had to beg my husband. I say, please, let me give back for my people. He knows I love to do charity. That's what I do best. I will increase the tax nets, like I said earlier on. And we will computerize all revenue collection. The international community is watching. They want to see whether Nigeria can elect its first ever female governor, which has never happened before. So women in this room, I want you to go and think well and think deeply. If you were the governor of this state, wouldn't you do better than what is happening right now? So don't just vote because it's juicy where you are sitting in. Vote because of the children that are dying daily. Because of the 1 million children dying because there's not enough healthcare facility. Think deeply. I have 3 minutes. Think deeply inside you. I want to be the governor so I can take care of your children. I want to ensure the children are sitting in beautiful classrooms with chairs and tables, not sitting on tires. Because look, life is too short. You die tomorrow. I want God to tell me, Bolanle, come and sit beside me. Not Bolanle, what did you do for the next man? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The program is Crossfire, live here at Fresh FM, Southwest Political Headquarters. Senator Olufemi Lanleyi, straight shoot. First 100 days in office. 3 things the people of Oyo State are listening to you that you want us to do accountable for. 3 things you intend to make happen. First 100 days in office.
I intend to do more than 3 things.
I'm just
I will tell you the 3 things
out of so
you're
many.
asking me. I will first of all make sure that I am back on my 7-point program. The first of which shall be the farm settlements. 2, I will make sure that the inner cities and intercity roads are taken care of. It's very, very important. And lastly, I will make sure that I set in motion the employment of our jobless youths. It's a big problem, it's a social problem, and those 3 things are we, Miller, together in the first 100 days, tackle them headlong.
Barrister Tarafadin, the first 100 days, out of those things, 3.
First thing, I will cancel payment of any fees in any of the primary and secondary schools. I will tackle workers' welfare. Like I said, reinstate all workers sacked unjustly, and also give the issue of pensioners priority. Our roads, not just the roads intra-city, but our rural feeder roads where we get food from, we take our attention. The issue of LAUTECH will be given a priority within the first 100 days. This state used to have, LAUTECH used to be our best state university in Nigeria and the 5th best. We don't have any rating now. And we're going to ensure that we try, set in motion to restore the glory of that school, and not just LAUTECH, all the tertiary institutions, and ensure that they go back to work. The issue of job will also be tackled. Machinery will set in motion, because like one of my brothers said, all the uselessness that we have around here today is because there are no jobs. Thank you very much.
Chief Adebayo Adelabu.
Well, my programs are in 3 folds. We have the quick wins, which is short term, we have the medium term, and we have the long term. For the question you asked, it's actually applicable to the quick wins in my first 3 months in office, which is the first 100 days in office. Number 1, we have Operation Light Up for your state. We must put light on all our streets. When there's light, there is no opportunity for crime. Number 2, there must be
thank you so much.
Operation Zero Pothole. There must not be potholes on our major streets in the first 100 days. Then number 3 is that I will build or resuscitate enough primary and secondary schools and primary healthcare centers in line with our medium-term plans. That's just it. Lights, roads, schools, and hospitals. Those are the 3 things I will do.
Thank you so much, sir. Engineer Akim Alau.
Thank you very much. The first 100 days of my assumption of office, you all know, you all know that Ibadan is very, very dirty. There are so mess everywhere. I will not allow peculiar mess in your state again. So therefore, the first 100
thank
days,
you so much.
I can
thank you.
I can assure you.
Thank you, please. Thank you. Please, let's go ahead.
I can assure you, Ibadan will be clean within the first 100 days of my assumption. There shall not be any mess again. The second one, within the first 100 days, I'm going to ensure 50-kilometer length of road are repaired. I can manage 50-kilometer road. I'm an engineer. I can repair 50 kilometers. I can't do more than that. Along Okeogun side, Okeogun road is horribly bad. On the third one is the pensioners. Like I said before, a dead man will not earn salary. I will ensure that for the first 3 months, at least 50% of their money are paid of arrears. I mean it, arrears. Thank you very much.
Engineer Sheyi Makinde, PDP, first 100 days.
Well, the first 100 days in office will ensure that we set up all the parameters that will allow foreign direct investment to come to Oyo State under a public-private partnership towards agriculture and towards mining. The first 100 days in office, there will be an end to executive arrogance. I am not the one that made this particular budget, and the first 100 days in office, I will realign this budget to areas of need for us. We will ensure that education is properly funded. We will at least try to meet the UNESCO standard. So we will realign the budget. Whatever they've put on education, we will take some money from infrastructure, which is building roads that are not necessary. We will take money from that and ensure we put it in education. Also, the first 100 days in office, any civil servant that has been wrongly dismissed, we will review the case, and where they are found to be qualified, they will be reinstated. And finally, the first 100 days in office, they've been paying security levy, and the security levy, I understand, that money is being used to put CCTV cameras all over the place. I don't believe CCTV cameras makes us more secure in Oyo State. And besides, those cameras are only in Ibadan. Oyo State is beyond Ibadan. There's crime everywhere. I will ensure that job creation, taking our youth off the streets, making them productive, will receive priority in our first 100 days in office.
Basa.
Thank you. All public schools will be fully equipped. You will have libraries and you will have laboratories, because I want the poor people's children to become doctors. I will ensure from August 2019, we create 10,000 sustainable jobs for the people of Oyo State. All these jobs, we already know what to do. There are jobs in waste. There are jobs in security, etc. I will create job centers all over the land and put an end to Omotani. Your merits is what you will use to go to the job centers. It is in England. What will it cost us? A building, computers with jobs inside, and then you go there with your merit and apply for a job. They won't say, who are you connected to give you a job? I will put an end to Bamule Lantan. We will give you revolving loans, because I want you to be productive, because that's where the economy will grow. We will modernize the agricultural sector and support subsistence farmers to transform into large-scale agriculture. This would guarantee sustainable food security. I want my people to eat. People cannot afford 1 meal a day. We will subsidize the food and we'll buy it from the farmers and push it back into the market at a low cost. I recognize the overall responsibility of the federal government for internal security, but I will keenly support law enforcement agencies in the state with advanced ICT infrastructure for surveillance, communications. I will provide them with vehicles, equipment, and tools to enhance their capacity in safeguarding. I will support the OPCs and the vigilantes, because they are the ones I trust right now. I will give them an institution so they will feel good about what they are doing, because we already know our PIPs are with close to 10 police officers each. Who is safeguarding us in the state? Finally, the government will provide independent power plants for industrial parks to function. We will partner greatly with the private sector, because this is how the country will move forward. Thank you.
Let's appreciate them, please. I'm going to join our wonderful guest. This event is closed. You are here because you got invitation, and because you are special to us. Millions are listening to us. Let's be quiet. This moment, a very key moment. Senator Olu Femilanlei, 2 in 1, and goes to everybody. Ibadan. Olubadan, chieftaincy reform. if you become governor, are you going to do anything differently from what obtains? Will you allow the litigation to have its full course? And finally, sport, the 3SC. What are you going to do differently? And that goes for everyone.
In respect of the Olubadan matter, I'm a lawyer and I respect the law. I will follow the judgment of the courts. In respect of sports, I will make sure that 3SC is brought back to its old glory. A lot of young men and women obviously are looking forward to making a career in sports. And 3SC is the shining star of sports in Oyo State. I intend to put everything necessary, everything needed to bring it back to its pride of place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am a senior chief in Ibadan land, and I stand with Olubadan of Ibadan land. I promise the people of Ibadan that we are going to respect the judgment of the courts. And as we believe, I personally believe, that what the government has done is wrong. And that has been so said by the High Court. And if you lose at home, certainly you will not get it at away. Olubadan of Ibadan is the only Oba that's entitled to wear beaded crown in Ibadan. Any other Oba that will be entitled can only be recommended by the Olubadan of Ibadan. On the issue of sports, it's not just about shooting stars. We are going to make sure that we go back to the years when we had Catch Them Young. We are going to start right from the primary schools and up there, so that we ensure that we actually, because sports is something that can fetch us a lot of money today. On shooting stars, when I became SSD in 2003, our predecessor in office were not able to, or let me say, 3SC went into relegation before we got to office. We made sure they were promoted back to the top level, and that's what we maintained throughout that tenure. I knew how we did it. It is giving attention to not just shooting stars, but sports generally. And at that time, during the National Sports Festivals, Oyo State could come between first and third. This year, or these years, or these days, it is not like that, because we don't give attention to sports.
Chief Adelabu.
Thank you very much. Number one, I will respect the judgment of the court in respect of the Olubadan's case. And that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I will respect the judgment of the court. When you get to a position, you also need to study the details of the case before you can take a major position on it. I don't preempt what transpires in there. On sporting activities, I don't think giving a response to resuscitate shooting alone will be fair on other sports. I have a sports blueprint that covers the entire gamut of sporting activities, sporting infrastructures, and sports administration. That's what we have. We start from youth sports. We all grew up in this town. We know what Principal Cup used to be. We know what inter-house sports among secondary schools used to be. There's something called Youth Fund, Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria. Most of Nigerian stars developed were actually caught from there. You understand? We're also talking about sports festival. You understand? We need to resuscitate it. Then lastly, when you talk about sports clubs, not just shooting stars. We know shooting stars has a legacy. But there's also Crown FC of Ogbomoso. I'm governor of your state, not of Ibadan. But let me tell you, like I said earlier, it is easy to make mouths. But you evaluate the credibility of someone's promise based on its antecedents. In everything I have a blueprint for, I have practiced it in my private life. I have a private sports center at Jericho. Come and check it out. He has a 5-a-side, he has a lawn tennis court, he has a basketball court, volleyball court, table tennis, and everything. So, when I talk about housing, I have experience in real estate. When I talk about tourism, I have experience in hospitality. When I talk about agriculture, I've got farms all over. When I talk about sports, I've got sports companies. You understand? So I know what I'm talking about. I've practiced it. I'm not just a theorist. You understand? So I know what I want to do, and I have it clearly spelled out in our blueprints for the 7. Thank you very much.
Engineer Akeem Alao, Alliance for Democracy.
Thank you very much. In as much as I respect the court proceedings, I believe that in this life, love is most important. If we love ourselves, there will not be crisis. Even before the next level of the court case, what I'm going to do is to call the Olubadan and all the new Obas. Where there is peace, there is always development. It is true, whatever the present government must have done, they've taken it to court, the first pronouncement has taken place, but we need to find a way. We need to strike a balance. Court proceeding does not bring peace. We must find a way. The Ibadan indigenous should come together, find a way to resolve the imbroglio or this crisis between the Obas. I think that's what we should do. The second issue of shooting star, up shooting. I think most of us watch football from UK. We talked about Marseille, United FC. We talk about different football clubs. Most of the football clubs that we watch who are from London, they are all private run. So why don't we privatize our shooting star so that the state government will have about 10% and probably 90% to the shooting star? And I can tell you, I was in London one time and I stayed in a hotel that was built by United FC and they also have a stadium. Shooting star could be the same. I love shooting star and I believe if we do that, we'll move forward. Thank you very much.
Engineer Immaculatetv.
I believe the issue of Olubadan and the other Obas, they are a needless quagmire. The system wasn't broken when somebody attempted to fix it. But having said that, we're where we are right now. It's a brownfield issue, so we have to handle it like that. There are cases in court. You let it run its course, but we will explore alternative mechanisms to try and solve the problem. On sports and shooting stars, actually we could have done things and we could have had a very different outcome. I believe if people read in the social media and in the news some few weeks back, I was being abused by the administrator of shooting stars because we gave them ideas, on what they should do. For us, I could have gone with my own private money to assist the shooting stars, but there's intolerance with this particular government. There was a time Aleshinoye Market got burnt. I sank a borehole in there, and they poured sand in it and closed the borehole. So I was going to get to shooting stars to try and assist them. But in government, I can give the assurance that if I have to spend my personal money to bring the glory of shooting stars back, we will do it in Oyo State. And on sports generally, sports also can be a money-spinning venture for us. We'll go back to the academic house. we've discovered talent. Dibeji Lawal was discovered from playing for the Academicals. So there should be a team, you know, or a scheme that will feed shooting stars, that will feed Crown of Ogbomoso, that will ensure the general well-being of our people. Most schools now don't do inter-house sports. During my time, we do inter-house sports. We know when it is. We play Principal's Cup. All of that, I mean, they've gone away. We will bring those back to Oyo State. Thank you.
Basa.
Thank you. With the issue of chieftaincy reform, I respect our culture greatly. Kábíyèsí o, mo kí yín Olúbàdàn. I will ensure, yes, you have to respect. He's listening. He's a father to me. So he's listening to me right now. My government will not be greater than the law. I will respect our culture greatly. Because when it comes to the issue of installing kings, the people of Oyo State already have their lineages planned out. They already know who is next in turn. They already know who should be the king. So why would I have 100 kings, 200 kings, when we know there should only be one king in Ibadan? On the issue of shooting stars, let me tell you, the reason why no sport is thriving in Nigeria is because it's politicized. The talents are there. Those who can play the football are there, but they are probably the children of the farmers, children of the pepper sellers. So they're not going to put them on, on the team because they're going international and they're going to collect money, etc. I will ensure it is done based on your qualification and your credibility. Thank you. On the issue of, and it's not just football, there's so many sports. We will ensure that every ward has a recreational facility. Because the youths we have right now, they are, how do I say it? How do I say it in English? Okay. They are like their mother, they're on fire. So, they're like me. So they need this place to go to in the evenings and go and chill out and exercise and play, to discover their talents. We'll ensure that we have all year round competitions. And when we win things, we will celebrate them. We won't just pack them inside the buses that they use for Malu and bring them back to Nigeria when they go on competitions. It is wrong. So I will ensure that in the money we have yearly, we'll put enough in sports so that the people can live a beautiful life. Thank you.
She just came in regularly. She's been so wonderful to Fresh FM. The Zona Director, NBC, our mother, Olori Olajumoke Ogini. Let's appreciate her greatly, Ejo. Let's put hands together for her. Zona Director, NBC, Southwestern Zone. We will give 6 members of the audience opportunity to ask questions. Any moment from now. As we wrap it up, Senator Olufemi Lanley, during the formative stage of ADC, you were the preferred candidate of Osi Olubadan, Senator Adewolu Lareja. As we speak today, it's no longer a party. Will you tell the people of your state his exit from your party, has it made your journey to Agodi more difficult, or you are not missing it?
Let me say straight away that politics is very dynamic. Today you are here, tomorrow something else happens. Senator Rashidi Ladoja remains my egbon, my uncle, and the OC, Olubadan of Ibadan land. I respect him tremendously. We have a very good relationship, but politically, for now, we are not in the same party. ADC is a conglomeration of so many groups. It cuts across all the 5 zones of Ibadan, strongly and very much on the ground. And to that extent, I can assure you that ADC is set to deliver the goods and win the governorship.
Barrister Sarafadin Ali, your party, Zenith Labour Party, like they say, Akande Begbo, will you tell the people of your state listening to you, doubters, that the fact that your party was recently constituted has not diminished or taken away anything from you becoming the next governor of your state?
Thank you very much. Like you have just said, several pleased Akande Begbo. And some people, when we started, said the party could not crawl. But now they have admitted that the party is flying. We've been around the entire state, and the reception accorded to us shows that it is the party that is waiting to form the next government. It's going to start by next week Saturday. Let's wait for the results of next week Saturday before we now. By the time we have elections next Saturday, you will see which party is leading. But I want to tell you, ZLP is forming the next government in Oyo State.
Chief Adebayo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Chief Adebayo Adelabu, you belong to the ruling party. We've had so much today from your colleagues here about what they intend to do. Something struck me when you were asked about what to do in the first 100 days. You spoke about lighting everywhere, no potholes. Are you admitting that all works have not been done by this current administration? Or are you saying you want to build on what they have done? And what's the idea of continuity?
Thank you very much, Isaac. I believe in what is called incremental development. If anybody stands here and tells you he's going to give you absolute transformation, is lying. You must build on a foundation. It is easier for you to build when you have a solid foundation. I'm going to uphold and continue the good work of the current administration. And there are areas, government is dynamic. There are programs, there are policies that will be applicable 2 years ago. Today, the environment may not make it applicable. We will improve on those areas. And I'm telling you that, kò sẹ́ni tó máa mì, torí ẹ̀ ò ní mì. Tinubu built it 1999 to 2007. Fashola built upon that foundation. Ambode did the same thing. We are giving Ambode and Fashola the credit today. Who started the good work? It was Tinubu. I'm going to continue the good work of Governor Ajimobi, and I will improve on areas that requires improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Engineer Akeem Alao of Alliance for Democracy. Thank you. Some guys, please, please, please. Engineer Akeem Alao of recent, members of your ESCO, Alliance for Democracy, endorsed the man next to you.
No, the glass.
As I speak,
Just the glass.
as I speak, how do you convince the people of your state that the AD that you are still leading is not a depleted AD, where ESCOs have endorsed the man next to you? Some of the ESCOs.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention.
You see, just like the whole world is seeing me here today, there are 37 gubernatorial candidates. And out of that 37, you pick 7 of us. That to show you that I'm a credible alternative. Allow is AD. AD is Allow. There is no other person. The renegade that you are talking about, they are not progressive. I can tell you today, the spirit of Chief Awolowo, Chief Bolage, Great Lamadeshina will be boiling in the ground for people who move to circumvent the AD. They are not progressive. I am a progressive to the core. there is difference between light and darkness. PDP is darkness. AD is light. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Engineer Sheyi Makinde. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Engineer Sheyi Makinde. You contested. Thank you so much. You contested in 2015. You contested in 2015 on the platform of SDP. You didn't win. This year, you are competing, offering yourself on the platform of PDP. Can you tell the people of your state what is different? What has changed from Sheyi Makinde of SDP 2015 and Sheyi Makinde of 2019 on the platform of PDP?
Thank you, Isaac. Yeah, I contested under SDP in 2015, and that has given me the experience to know that for you to win, there has to be a strong candidate and a strong party. So, you still have Sheyi Makinde as the strong candidate. Now what we've done is to put a strong party, with that, and that shows that we're actually coasting to victory, because we've done the needful. Also, at the national level, no, this is extremely important. At the national level, on Saturday, there are really, the contest is between two major candidates, the candidates of the APC and the candidates of the PDP. And for Western region, for Oyo State in particular, fiscal federalism, controlling our resources, they are very key to lifting our people out of the dungeon. And that is what I expect to reflect in how people will vote next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bata, there are those who say your party, hold on, it's National Interest Party, is a very small party. That is a very small party. National Interest Party. The question is this, Basa. Could you convince the people of Oyo State the structure of NIP as we speak? Why will a vote for NIP not be a waste? Please go ahead, convince us.
Thank you so much. 3 minutes. Right. Honorable Ido local government. Uzo, stand up. Honorable Egbeda local government. Bukumi, stand up. I have 13 honorables in my party. They did not pay 1 naira for their form. I gave them free nomination forms. These are graduates. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran, ọmọ aláta ni àwọn honorable mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ẹ̀yin mẹ̀kúnnù lẹ ń dìbò. Ẹ dìbò ọmọ yín. So for you to know that my structure is badass, God has given me so much. However, I will not expose it to the people. Ejoko, just a few of them. I have 5 honorables in Ibadan. I have 2 in Ogbomoso. I have 4 in Oyo. And I have 3 in Okiogun. And my deputy governor is from Oyo. Aláàfin àti Ìbà ẹ̀yin Ọ̀yọ́. Mo fẹ́ fún yín nígbàkejì gómìnà. Wọ́n fún yín rí. NIP is a party for the masses, because if it's not a free and fair party, how will a woman emerge as a candidate there? People of Oyo State, God will not come down to help you. You will help yourself. Look at what is happening abroad, where women have been taking care of their countries and it's working for them. Thank
you so much. As we wrap up this conversation, we pick members of the public. You have 1 minute each, and as the Spirit directs. Let me start with our madam. 1 minute.
Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate you for allowing this. I believe leadership is emotional intelligence, the ability to control yourself in the midst of whatever the challenges you're facing. Because of the economical crisis in the state, we have children that are delinquent. We have children that their homes are gone. They don't have families, they don't have anybody to help them. What I'm asking our governors to be is that would you please allow a rehabilitation center for these children to be rehabilitated because they are the future of this state. Family system, a pastor will not sleep on the pulpit. Politicians are going home to sleep. What is the future of our youth when their homes are messed up? Thank you very much.
Note it, please.
Great farmers. Ìbéèrè mi lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn olùdíje dípò gómìnà. Láìpẹ́ yìí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ pé ẹ̀yin gómìnà. Àwọn gómìnà kan ò yọjú síbẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀ nígbàgbọ́ nù bò àgbẹ̀ ni àbí ẹ̀ ní plan fún àgbẹ̀? Àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì nípa ọ̀rọ̀ anchor borrower scheme. Ní ìpínlẹ̀ ní northern side of the country, wọ́n rí anchor borrower scheme gbà fún ọdún 8 gbogbo àgbẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Kò tí ì sẹ́ni tó ní àǹfààní sí anchor borrower scheme látàrí counterpart fund. Kí lẹ̀yin ó ṣe nípa counterpart fund tẹ́ ẹ bá dìpọ̀ gómìnà?
Finally,
I want to ask you, there is a Ministry of Youth Affairs. There's also Ministry of Women Affairs. We, the disabled, are asking for Ministry of Disability. Are you ready to give us, because these are the 3 underprivileged groups, and everybody is waiting to know, and you have not said it. Are you going to create a ministry for people with disability? Bearing in mind that even aged women, they are part of us. That's my question.
No, we do not have, the time schedule is against us. Senator Olufemi. Audio engineer.
To our dear lady, I want to assure her that everybody will be taken care of in Oyo State. The resources of the state will be appropriated in the interest and for the welfare of all. Men, women, the aged, the disabled, and all. In respect of the ministry, of course there's nothing wrong in having a ministry of women, youth, and the disabled. You will have a strong department therein, and it will be headed by a person who is disabled. And there will be a special advisor for the affairs of the disabled. In respect of the farmers' debate, I want to apologize for not being there. You know, there are so many things to do, and it's not out of disrespect. Sorry about that for the farmers. But the farmers' interest is in our heart, and we'll take very good care of them. Prayer.
Thank you. We know the youths are leaders of tomorrow. And as such, their interest must be paramount to us. We are going to run a God-fearing and a mean government. And we'll make sure that the ones on the streets are actually rehabilitated and get jobs for some others who are actually in need of jobs. Thank you very much. On the Akobora fund, I remember I was at the farmers' debate, and it does not mean that someone is not interested in the issue of farmers. We earlier have been talking about farming, agriculture, land being where we have comparative advantage. So I think we all here have agreed on the fact that the issue of farmers is going to be on the front burner. On creation of Ministry of Ability or Disability. with my experience in government, it's not about creating a ministry that will get your attention. It is not about creating the ministry. It's about giving good attention to the disabled. And that is exactly what we are going to do in our government. Thank you.
Coincidentally, I just left a program where I spoke about introduction of rehabilitation centers and social homes in Oyo State. Because of the preponderance of the number of underage kids on our streets, we must establish a social home and a rehabilitation center. That's how it is done in the advanced world. We're going to do that. For farmers' debates, sincerely, I was occupied because of a previous engagement. I could not attend the farmers' debate. But my friend, I don't think we need a debate for you to know our plans for the farmers. We have met with farmers associations where we actually articulated our plans for farming and mechanized agriculture, exploiting the entire value chain of agriculture. We don't need to put candidates side by side before we discuss agriculture. We can meet you once again. Then Anchor scheme, you know I'm a part of people that established the Anchor scheme. It's not going to be a problem for your state. For disability, there needs to be adequate representation of the disabled in my government. I will comply with the recently signed Disability Act by the federal government.
Please, just to inform you, we have not been invited by the Agbes Union at any point in time. If I've been invited, I will have spoken extensively on the AD program on agriculture. AD has the best program, I can tell you. We are going to introduce again Farmers Cooperative Society. So the counterpart fund, we just put it straight into the cooperative society, or your state will fund cooperative society in all the local governments. Secondly, on disability, we are all equal before God. There is equal right. I don't see you as being disabled. I can tell you are not disabled. It is what is there that matters. I can tell you, whoever that says is disabled will look for ministry, will look for special assistance for it, but I don't see them as disabled. Thank you very much.
Engineer Immaculatetv.
Thank you, Isaac, again. First, saying, will I create a ministry of for disabled? It's like asking me, am I going to be a constituted authority? I won't. Yeah, I won't, because it is a decision we have to take jointly together. Whether this is desirable, it's necessary, and what are the conditions to be met. What I can give you assurance of is you will have a special advisor that will be very close to me, have my ears, that can deal with the issues of the vulnerables in our society. The widows, not just the people living with disability. On the rehabilitation homes, I'll keep saying it. When this government came into power in 2011, 8 years ago, 10-year-olds, then they're now 18. They are they attain childbearing age. Now, if you see those people as contributors to people needing rehabilitation, or our youth, smoking hemp within our environment, I think if you tackle poverty, it's almost like seeking first the kingdom of God, and every other thing should be added unto you. I was at the farmers' event, and I did mention about the anchor borrowers issue. We will support it fully, not in 33 local governments, but the areas where people are practicing farming.
Hello? On the issue of street children, I will ensure they are rehabilitated and also counseled. I studied psychology. Some of these children have been abused on the streets. Some have turned to pickpocketers. We will find out what the issues are. If their families are poor, we will empower the mothers and the fathers so that the children are not back on the streets. If we find out the parent is the one pushing the child out, we will ensure that child comes into the home we're going to build for street children. Once we have orientated them, then we push them back into society so they can be productive. Okay. On the issue of anchor borrower scheme, there's a lot of money that comes into this country from various bodies internationally. However, this money is being used by the politicians that do not want this country to move forward. So we will not politicize it. We will encourage you because I need farmers. On the issue of the ministry for disabled people, I will create you a ministry because you are the only ones that will know what sort of abilities we can give you so you can thrive in society. And I will also ensure we have a ministry for non-indigens. I want to give you a one Oyo state. Igbo, Hausa, Takpa, Ibadan. All of us will be one. Thank you.
If you're just joining us, it's still Fresh FM. Guba showdown here. We're drawing this event to a close, and each candidate has 60 seconds to address the people of Oyo State on the need to vote for them come next election. I'm sticking with you. Yoruba, please go ahead.
Orúkọ mi ni Bọ́láńlé Àṣàbí Sàrùmí Àlíyù ọmọ Sàrùmí dìkàkà dìkùkù bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń dìkàkà lójú ogun ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi ń lé o mi ò wá ṣeré o a máa dìbò eléyìí máa ṣe nítorí àwọn ọmọbìnrin tẹ́ ẹ bí kórìí wọn náà máa wú kọ́níjọ́ kan àwọn náà lè di gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ta ló ń dìbò jù? Ẹ̀yin obìnrin. Ta ló ń jìyà jù? Ẹ̀yin obìnrin. Ta ló fà á? Ẹ̀yin obìnrin lẹ fà á. Ẹ ti dìbò agolo ráìsì, ẹ ti dìbò àǹkárá tó ń bó, ẹ lọ fi yé wọn ń gbòòrò. Aláṣàbí ò ní fún yín láǹkárá tí ń bó, ìfún yín láṣọ tí ò ní bó mọ́ yín lára títí láíláí. Aláṣàbí ò ní fún yín ní kọ́ọ̀pù ráìsì, ń fún yín ní àpò ráìsì tẹ́ mọ̀ já wájú ṣọ́ọ̀pù yín. Ìbúdí tèmi ní pé kẹ́ ẹ máa jẹ wọn mọ́ because ẹ jẹ wọn mọ́ arúgbó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń tọrọ lórí títì ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ lẹ́fà. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ má jẹ́ olóyin fún tọ́gìrì. Wọn ò fẹ́ kí mẹ̀kúnnù wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ń jọ́tọ̀ ẹ bá jí tẹ bá já sí wọn lè rí yín lò kẹ́ lọ́ máa yìnbọn kẹ́ lọ́ máa pa ọ́pọ́nẹ́ǹtì àbí kẹ́ lọ́ máa da ìbọn. Ẹ tẹ̀lé mi ebi ni yá yín máa tọ́jú yín láṣẹ Elédùmarè ṣe mo dúpẹ́.
Engineer Seyi Makinde.
Mo kí yín ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ní ilé. Ìjọba tí Seyi Makinde àti àwọn tí a jọ wà nínú PDP ìjọba tá a fẹ́ ṣe ìjọba tó jẹ́ pé a ní fi tọ́rọ́ ká fi bò sísì lójú fún yín a jẹ́ olóòótọ́ sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ a sì fi ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run a fi ṣe ìjọba náà kò sí ẹnìkankan nínú wa tó mú kọ́bọ̀ wá sílé ayé a sì ní mú kọ́bọ̀ lọ sọ́run gbogbo nǹkan tọ́lọ́run bá fi jíǹkí wa a fi ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ iṣẹ́ tọ́lọ́run rán wa nìyẹn a sì jẹ lágbára Ọlọ́run fáwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ará ilé tẹ̀ ń wò wá ẹgbẹ́ Alliance for Democracy ẹgbẹ́ tẹ̀ ti mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ni ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re ẹgbẹ́ tó ṣe ìwòsàn ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ nígbà kan rí àwa náà la padà dé ẹgbẹ́ wa ò kú o àti jí àti ti padà. Ẹgbẹ́ ìràwọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀ ni ẹ dìbò fẹ́gbẹ́ wa ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Chief Adelabu.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn olùgbọ́ wa ní ilé àtàwọn tí a jọ wà ní ibi. Mo fẹ́ rọ̀ yín wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàìnà ojú wa dáadáa. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sínú ìrìn àjò APC fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tí a ti lo ọdún mẹ́jọ 20 ọdún lẹ́ni ní Èkó náà ti wà nínú ọkọ̀ ìgbàlà yìí àríwí tó gbé wọn dé ẹ jẹ́ ká pa ìmọ̀ wa pọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ APC láti dìbò fún ọmọ yín Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú láti lọ sí ìpele tó kàn nínú ètò ààbò ètò àgbẹ̀ ètò ilé gbígbé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ètò ìlera ètò àyíká àti ìrìnkèrindò mọ́tò ibi tí Ọlọ́run gbé wa lọ a ó débẹ̀ ẹ dìbò fún ẹni tó ní bíbí ire tó tún túnra ẹ̀bí tó tún nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé rẹ̀ bí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ yóò ṣe gòkè oló máa ń rò gbogbo investment wa ibi ló wà kò sí lókè òkun ẹ ṣé.
Barrister Safadin Ali.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn olùgbọ́ wa nílé káàkiri gbogbo àgbáláyé mo sì kí àwa tá a wà níyìn náà mo fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún wa pé ìjọba tí ẹgbẹ́ Zenith Labour múra láti ṣe yóò jẹ́ ìjọba tí ìjọba àwa ara wa tí yóò jẹ́ àtẹ́wọ́gbà fún gbogbo aráàlú tí ó sì jẹ́ ìjọba tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ aráàlú tó sì ní ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run torí pé gbogbo ohun tó wù ká ṣe láyè gbogbo wa jẹ́ ká gbà pé á jìyìn nígbà kan ẹgbẹ́ wa jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn mọ àwọn èèyàn tó wà níbẹ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn tó ti ṣe dáadáa níjọba rí ni wọ́n ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti ilé ìwé gíga kò ní tẹ́tì tí àwọn yunifásitì wa àtàwọn college of education wa á sì pé àwa owó fún wọn tí wọ́n padà sí oko ibi tí wọ́n wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ìjọba dáadáa tí yóò sì mú ire àti ayọ̀ wá sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Distinguished Senator Olúfẹ́mi Lanley.
mo kí gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti gbogbo àwọn tó ń wò wá ní àgbáyé mo fi dá yín lójú pé ẹgbẹ́ ADC ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́wọ́bọwọ́ jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ tó ní ìlànà tó dára púpọ̀ púpọ̀ fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kò sí ẹni tí ò lè sọ pé òun á sọ òkè dilẹ̀ kò sí ẹni tí ò lè sọ pé òun á ṣe gbá òun á ṣe bákan ṣùgbọ́n àtúbọ̀tán ní kẹ́ ẹ wò gbogbo wa lẹ́mọ̀ àtàwátà wà ń bí àtàwátà sì ń bí ẹ mọ̀ wá dáadáa ẹ mọ̀ bí tá a ti ń bọ̀ ẹ dìbò yín fún ẹni tó máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí a ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹni tó ti ṣe rí tó dẹ̀ máa tó ṣe tó máa ṣe dáadáa ẹ ṣé o ẹ kú àtàárọ̀.
Can we put our hands together for all the candidates? It's been a wonderful time here. Finally, the CEO, the chief host of today's event, will give his vote of thanks. Dr. Yinka Ayefele MON.
Ẹ ṣé o. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa nílé àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá jákèjádò gbogbo àgbáyé mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ kú àtìlẹ́yìn wa. Bákan náà mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin tí a jọ wà ń bí fún ìfarabalẹ̀ yín ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ àti lọ́wọ́ àwọn olùdíje fúnpò gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àsìkò sí síbẹ̀ láìsí àsìkò ẹ wá àsìkò ààyè láti dá wa lóhùn èyí fi hàn wá wípé ẹ ṣetán láti jẹ́ ìpè aráàlú torí aráàlú lẹ wá dá lóhùn kì í ṣe Fresh FM a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o tẹ́ ẹ bá sì wá débẹ̀ tán ẹni tọ́lọ́run bá ní kó débẹ̀ kí lẹ wí àìrọ ìlérí tẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún àwọn aráàlú ẹ má gbàgbé o ó ṣe pàtàkì torí pé Yorùbá ní àlùkà wà ní ẹrù Ọlọ́run ni ẹ má gbàgbé o ẹ má gbàgbé o ká tó máa lọ àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe àkóso ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n fún wa ní ààyè àti àǹfààní láti ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ irú tó báyìí aṣojú wọn ní South West zonal director wa mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n bá wa ní gbólóhùn kan àbí méjì ká tó máa lọ ẹ ṣé o Sister Jùmọ̀kẹ́ olórí Jùmọ̀kẹ́ Ògèní.
Ẹ káàsán ẹ̀yin bàbá wa àtẹ̀yin ìyá wa ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti ẹ̀yin oníròyìn tẹ́ wà ń bí. I will first start by saying it in English. As the Zonal Director, National Broadcasting Commission, I will first start by commending Fresh FM for these laudable projects that they embarked on. Because when election is around the corner, there is need to bring the contestants, the various candidates, to the people. Because election is about issues. It's not about hate speech. It's not about incitement. It's not about vote buying. It's not about PVC buying. It's about issues. They need to come to you, the electorate, to tell you what their programs are, what they have in stock for the electorates to make better the society. And that is why I'm commending Fresh FM for doing this, for bringing them to you people. I also want to admonish them that they should please talk to their followers. There is need for peace. Because without peace, we will not be here today. It's because there is peace, that's why we are all assembled here today. There is need for us to have a free, fair, peaceful election. I also want to admonish the media houses that are here that there are several provisions of the code that they need to comply with. In the build-up to the election on Saturday, there are several provisions that has to do with fair hearing, that has to do with not pre-singing, that has to do with announcing election results as announced by INEC. Because you cannot announce any election results obtained from any polling booth. You can only announce election results as announced by INEC. So we should please, when you send correspondences to the field, make sure you cross-check, you verify, and you make sure you are only announcing the authentic results as announced by INEC. Thank you very much. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ ní ṣókí nǹkan tí mo kàn sáré sọ yẹn. Nǹkan tí mo kàn sáré sọ yẹn ni pé torí àwọn bàbá wa àtàwọn ìyá wa tán wà níbí tó jẹ́ pé bóyá wọn ò gbọ́, mo kàn ní kí n kàn sáré sọ pé nǹkan tí Fresh FM ṣe yìí nǹkan tí ó dáa ni, nǹkan tó yẹ kí àwọn iléeṣẹ́ kan máa ṣe, nítorí pé gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe olùdíje fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n láti kó wọn wá kí gbogbo àwa tá a fẹ́ dìbò fún wọn ká mọ kí ni àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ní tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe fún àwa aráàlú. Kì í ṣe pé ká kàn déédéé kàn lọ máa dìbò, á láti mọ kí ni nǹkan tán fẹ́ ṣe fún wa gangan. Lẹ́yìn yẹn àwọn gan pàápàá wọ́n láti bá gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń tẹ̀lé wọn, wọ́n láti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kàn make sure pé nígbà tí a bá ń dìbò, ká tó dìbò, ìgbà tá a bá dìbò, lẹ́yìn ìbò, pé kò sí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀, pé àlàáfíà wà. Àlàáfíà tó dẹ̀ wà ló jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa wà níbí ilé ní, nítorí tí ò bá sàlàáfíà àní sí níbí ilé ní. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ bá wa báwọn èèyàn yín sọ̀rọ̀. Lẹ́yìn yẹn nínú Nigeria Broadcasting Code àwọn òfin kan wà ńbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń dìbò, àwọn èsì ìbò, àwọn tó ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti announce ẹ̀ òní INEC. Kò sí èèyàn kankan, kò sí iléeṣẹ́ tó ń gbóhùn sáfẹ́fẹ́ kankan tó ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti announce ẹ̀. The only result tán lè announce ni tí INEC bá announce. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ tún jọ nǹkan tí a tún sọ ni pé kájọ nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá ń sọ àwa olóṣèlú, ẹ jẹ́ ká make sure pé kò sí ọ̀rọ̀ pé à ń ṣáátá ẹnìkan. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ká máa sọ ní àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe fáwọn aráàlú. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká sọ ọ̀rọ̀ pé bóyá ẹ lọ dáná sunlé ẹnìkan, ẹ lọ pa ẹnìkan. Mo lọ síbì kan lénìí, èèyàn kan sọ nǹkan kan, ó ní à ń láti lé àwọn kan kúrò ńbẹ̀. In fact, mo ń láti tètè sọ fún wọn, mo ní ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nǹkan tá a bá wá síbí ní nǹkan tán fẹ́ ṣe fáwọn aráàlú. Kò kí ń ṣe bọ́n ṣe fẹ́ lé èèyàn kan kúrò, ń tán fẹ́ ṣe fáwọn aráàlú ló máa mú ká dìbò fún wọn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Highly distinguished guests, listeners, and those watching us online, we are bringing this event to a close, and we are going to end it on a very memorable note. These are leaders who will demonstrate one thing now. They are going to unite against violence, and they are going to unite for peace. Madam, please come around. Gentlemen, please come around. Let's have your hands together, please. Your hands together, all the candidates. When you see this, unite for peace. Unite against violence. Oh yeah, let's see your hands together, please. Madam, please. We are uniting Oyo State against violence. We are uniting for peace. None of our supporters must kill, maim for us. That is what all of them are saying. And you lead this hall preaching peace and unity. No blood of anybody is worthy of being spilled just for a vote. We unite for peace. We unite against violence. We wrap it up with an anthem.